And we begin our panel with our good friend from Newsmax, New York, Steve Malzberg, who you watch weeknights at 7 p.m. on the Steve Malzberg Show. Also at Newsmax, New York tonight, former New York City Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik. And from Newsmax, Washington, Newsmax chief political columnist and White House correspondent John Gizzi. And last, where are manners? It should be ladies first. Skyping in from Nashville, Tennessee, chief political correspondent for the USA Radio Network's Scottie Hughes. Thanks to you all for your time here tonight on Newsmax TV. We also want to point out to you that we will have a phone number you can call because we want to get your comments at home. But John, and you see the numbers right there, 877-NEWSMAX-1, 877-639-7629. John Gizzi, first to you. I must tell you, I was surprised by Governor Kasich, who just a couple of months ago was expected to do well in this slice of America, especially in Pennsylvania, having been born in McKees Rocks, PA. He finished third in the Keystone State. Should he heed Donald Trump's call? Is it time for John to get out of the race?
I'm not going to say whether it's time. That's up to Governor Kasich. I will say that when I interviewed him during the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference only 4 weeks ago, I asked him just that question. Would you make an exodus from the race if you lose the state of your birth? And he said no. The race is about delegates, not winning primaries, and he made it clear he would go all the way to the convention. Now, unless he makes a dramatic statement otherwise tonight or tomorrow, I have no choice but to believe what he said to me during an interview only a few weeks ago. I think he's staying in to the end.
All right, now, we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that happens.
Right.
Let me turn to Bernie Kerik to get his thoughts tonight. And pardon the interruption, but time is short. Bernie, you've seen a lot of elections from that perch in New York and New Jersey in that corridor. Any surprise to you tonight?
No, I don't think so. I think the people have spoken. I think this was anticipated. I think this is going to give Trump a bigger boost going into California, going into the other states. And I think he's doing exactly what he said he would do.
Scottie Hughes, Donald Trump apparently is ready to offer another speech on foreign policy. Of course, we recall his speech a few weeks ago to AIPAC in Washington, yet another event slated for this Wednesday in Washington, giving the Republican frontrunner a chance to reassure other members of the Republican Party. Do you believe Trump can ease fears and concerns with that speech, Scottie Nell?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of pressure being put on tomorrow's speech, but I think he knows that going into it. What we're going to see tomorrow is a mix of the two factions within his campaign that we've been hearing about, the Corey Lewandowski, those that have been around from the very beginning, and the newest crew of Paul Manafort. Tomorrow, we're going to see a speech crafted by Manafort. Tonight, we saw something of what Corey Lewandowski, what he's been known for, is putting together let Trump be Trump type of speaking. Tomorrow, we will see a very well-crafted, laid-out policy speech and show that Mr. Trump can adapt based on the environment that he is in, and I think people will be very happy. I guarantee this is a very well-reviewed, a very thought-out speech tomorrow that probably might even be one of the best ones we've heard yet from Mr. Trump.
Let me turn to Steve Malzberg, who is no stranger to Donald Trump. The many faces of Donald. We hear he is a hard worker. His mediagenic status. Do you expect a very good speech tomorrow in Washington from the Donald?
Yeah, for two reasons. One, it's off the teleprompter, the same way that the AIPAC speech was. And number two, you know, he didn't write it, as most candidates don't. And I don't know who wrote it, but you could bet that they were experts and well-respected experts, because on today's show, on my show, I found out that he has spoken with on the phone and sought the advice of and received the advice of at least once for each, and probably more, T-Bone Pickens on oil, okay, T-Boone Pickens on oil, Stephen Moore, and also Larry Kudlow on economics.
You're giving us an all-star lineup and completing our lineup on the phone, calling in from Fredonia, Kentucky. This is Dale. Dale, 45 seconds for your statement, sir.
Well, I was a strong Trump supporter, voted for him in March in the primary here. had his cap of 4 cents last summer, put bumper stickers on the vehicles. But when he come out with that statement last Thursday on the Day Show on this transgender issue, I took my bumper stickers off and not wearing my cap no more. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are upset with what Trump had to say on the Today Show last Thursday. He since doubled back to say it should be left up to the states to make the decision, which is somewhat ironic given the fact that, rhetorically at least, he was taking issue with the duly elected leadership in the state of North Carolina, both in the General Assembly and in the governor's mansion. It's interesting to see that, but apparently it had no impact tonight in these eastern states. Back with more of your calls and more of the panel as we step aside on America Votes 2016.